I don't know how this is going to go across because it's cutting off and on me. Wonder why. um, no joke. This is, again, the homeless assistance took me here. I found it in the papers out in Troutville near the Appalachian Trail where I had lived and where my post office box is. So I go in, and I paid Mr. Ron Sizer. He lives on Valley Way. I pay him, supposedly it's going to be a year lease. I get out there, and I have to get a ride, the homeless assistance, and he decides it's a month. Okay, what he has said that it's unfurnished. Okay, so I pay him I've forgotten well, I've got it here, but anyway, I pay him the deposit and the rent for a month, which I believe the rent was $850. But yeah, here it is. Well, it's 605, and then it's electricity. And come find out his um barn that he's hooked up to his goat and all this is in it. In the wintertime, it's hooked up. I'm paying for it. And here's the, well, there's March through April and December through January and February through March, and it's all paid. Here's how it ended. And his floodlights are hooked up, I found out, to my electricity. And, excuse me if this seems unorganized. I wonder if I'm even able to, so I'm left with my credit ruined on the electric bill and the gas bill. I didn't even get to use it. It was emergency calls to the gas company because there were leaks. They let this man without a building. The building code forbids it. He added on a furnace, what do they call it, a sump pump. Anyway, the stuff is going up into the vent and the air conditioning, and nobody would do a thing about it. So here is the way it ended. He comes up and he tells me, and I paid my rent on time. There's no reason. He comes and tells me that I have to leave. And he's got the cops out there, and he's got what looks like an eviction notice. I'm told now, this was the rental agreement, I'm told now he just made the eviction thing up. But he turned me over to the credit bureau with a bunch of lies. And if you can't get an attorney to clear it, here's what he did. There was no garbage whatsoever. I'm one person. What can I do? The homeless assistance guy came out there and helped me with a few things I had, get them out. So the place was left clean. He's got on here that you left the rental unit April the 3rd, which the cops were out there, and he had an eviction notice on the door. And I have no rights, so I left. My rent was paid. He said, rent per day is $20 and you owe $60, which is a lie. I had to make 2 trips to the landfill to dispose of a soil mattress, a box spring, and 7 large trash bags left on the porch. Cost $19. Total lie. Total lie. As I was washing the kitchen floor, there was a gash in the linoleum to the plywood. I expect this came about when the bed was moved from the bedroom to the rear entrance of the rental unit. I've talked to a man, and he thinks he can repair this for $75. Vacuum cleaner, let me remind you, this was unfurnished. Vacuum cleaner missing, a part without it. It will not work. I purchased an inexpensive one for the rental unit for $69. Now, I can go on and on. It's nothing but lies. Sounds good unless you got him into court. Under oath, and maybe they'd tell the truth. Oh, he goes on, the stove was a mess, the burner spilled. Noticed that the toilet water was cut off, and after checking the ball cock, it had a fine piece of trash in it, etc., etc. Oh, he just goes on with nothing but lies here. Now, then, the thing is also he failed to mention about he didn't have a building permit to put in all this, the gas furnace that just about killed me, the sunk pump that ran and went up into the vents, and plus he would come in and he put barbecue, you know what, the lighter fluid underneath the air conditioning vent, and it would bring that up, and I don't know what else he did. I stayed sick. I would pass out. And this is in the dead of winter. I finally, there was a stairwell. You could pull down the stairs. And I went upstairs because I was so sick. I didn't know that was up in the attic. I pulled it down and walked up there, and this man his mother had lived there and died, and he had put her furniture up over my head there in the attic, and it was all mildewed and molded. Need I say more? That's Ron Sizer. This was a huge layout, farm and all, beautiful home he had. Notice demand of possession. Now the cops there in Botetourt County were there to back him up. About 3 cars were parked there, so I left. Now this went on my credit. Total lies. Nothing due. I think he's got me down $900 with all the lies there, and it was turned over, as far as I know, to the credit bureau. Now then, Richfield, the nice one, same thing. I'm going to go to Bedford. This was HUD, and just have a place to live. But this was Section 8 again, which is federal. It's up. It's a brand new place. It was over there. In fact, I was one of the first that moved in. July the 1st of 11. I moved in, and immediately the air conditioning goes out. Okay, it's the 4th of July coming up. Everybody's celebrating with firecrackers and parties right in my face, and I'm up against the Bedford War Memorial, where they've got the British flag flying with the American flag, like, we're not hostages. I'm a hostage. The Brits are hostages. Oh, the arrogance of the bastards. Well, they're killing me. So much happened there. They finally, there was mold and mildew. This is a brand new unit. They finally moved me into another new one, and that was, I could look out my back window up at the War Memorial, so smack in my face. Same thing happened there, soaked in chemicals. And at the end, I stayed there 7 months exactly, suffering, and the damage done to my body. And they hired a Navy SEAL, retired, just as about a month before I moved. You won't hear any of this in a background check or anything. It'll just look like I broke a lease. I'm flighty. I'm a bag lady. I'm anything but sane, when it's a total lie. Here is, okay, when I left there, February the 28th, it's Joseph's Way, owned by Reverend Moore, black minister out of Washington, North Carolina. By the way, Brenda Ellis is the one that was manager. You should get her up, someone in court, and see if she can tell the truth about what went on. Okay, here I had to come back to Roanoke, and I applied at one of Reverend Moore's new units. He owns about 23, federally funded, elderly retirement through the Carolinas and through Virginia. This one was a new one next door here in Christiansburg, Virginia Tech. Now then, I've done nothing. I've paid my rent. There's no eviction. There should be no problem me getting a place. What should happen is these people joined into a conspiracy to gas me, and they're talking about Assad among everything else that's been done. illegally. Uh, anyway, this is a rejection from. By the way, she told me 4 had moved in last year. It was a brand new unit. And finally, when I faxed and followed through on all of it, trying to get a place to stay, and why she said to me that she was told that they had to do a background check on me everywhere I'd lived and worked, like I'm a criminal or something. They're the criminals, my God. I'm just one poor lady that happened to be born Victoria the Second, and they kidnapped me, and all this stuff is going on, and nobody will do anything but help kill me, is it? Finally, she told me that they didn't have to give me a reason. This is her name, Sona Scott, Melinda's Melody. She said, your record of previous tenancy did not meet our screening criteria. And when I insisted on where she was coming from on it, she said, I wish I could tell you, but I can't, and it won't do you any good to follow through on it. So I've got all that. So there was one other one here I wanted to put. This is the Jewish fellow that owns a bunch of these affordable corporate suites. Again, if you look on the surface, you think, well, hey, she's doing pretty good. She gets room service. She gets, it's a one-bedroom. Let me remind you, the Jews have kidnapped me, okay? Look at their treaties that are illegal, by the way. Here is, okay, I think that's on the electricity that was illegally. I was paying his, yeah. Now then, my electricity, I can't get electricity, I don't suppose. But I had her, this is just one of the affordable corporate suites, and this is where Carl Barton, the Virginia State Trooper, took me. His wife told me, it looked like they were doing me a favor. I didn't ask them to. I was legally camped at Roanoke Mountain, and fuel was put on my tent that night, and I had to sit out on the bench all night long. She brings me down there, and they paid the deposit of $150. I stayed there, paid the rent, high rent, took every penny I had. I ate a baked potato and beans with a little bacon in them for 17 months, and there's no need to tell the cleaning ladies stay out. They soaked my bedding. You had the maintenance guys coming in there soaking me. I was walking around like a zombie, sick, what it's doing to my body. And her name was, here he is, Jean Croft. If I can get it there, in case any of these people are held accountable one day. Affordable corporate suites. She puts here, and I'm going to end it with this because this has been every step of the way. I've been run like I don't know, what do you say, a scalded animal? February the 17th, 2011. Since Peggy moved in here August of '09, she has always paid her rent on time. If you have further questions, please call me at this number. And this is Affordable Suites. By the way, I stayed at several of theirs, and the same thing happened over and over again. I leave, I'm made to come back here, and that was another one where I paid my rent on time to Affordable. So I never broke the law. They've been broken against me, and here I sit going to Edinburgh tomorrow to pay radar